Yo, guys, coming to you on a Sunday stream. We do have a little bit of redness at the moment, and I do want to explain to you guys on the shorter time frame, you do need to brace yourself for a little bit more red. So as you can see here on the total 3, we are losing a trend, which means we must expect for another pullback. And I spoke about the scenario yesterday that we're looking between a 6 and a 10% pullback on this current move over here. And it does look that it's about to start getting accelerated. So what that means is prepare for a little bit of a red Sunday. However, guys, I got big news and a lot of important data to show you guys how this US election that we have seen, we've seen 2 before this, where it has triggered the entire altcoin market as well as the Bitcoin market. This was where we were in the last election. Okay, and we had Biden that was chosen, which wasn't so pro-crypto at that time. But this was the time in this green box over here. And we are at the exact same box, exact same time, exact same place with altcoins than what we're seeing. So my biggest problem this year was, did we go off track? Is something different this time? And I went through all of the data this morning, and I went through a ton of data with the team, and everything is perfectly on track. Okay, and this for me is something that I want to get to you guys to understand, that you're about to see a little bit of short-term more redness. Okay, but you need to understand what comes next and how important these next couple of months are and what are the major triggers. Plus, there's only a certain amount of altcoins that are actually worth buying right now. The rest, you have a lot more time to buy, and I'm going to show you guys the tools that you're going to use to know when those altcoins are eventually going to start rallying. But realistically, there's about 10 altcoins that are only worth buying on this dip right now. Ones that are ready to go, ones that are stronger than Bitcoin, ones that will bring you quick results versus the rest of the alts that you are waiting to start to make its way up. So guys, it's about to be one of the most volatile weeks we've seen in a long time. We have the election week coming up. Let's prepare. I've been educating the crap out of you guys, so make sure you hit that like button. I've been teaching, and I'm not going to stop until the market starts making us money again, right? But I do want to show you that this excited me. I was a little bit worried, like, what the hell's going on? But when I went through the history of the dominance, the total 3, the Bitcoin, and the way where everything triggers, even ETH to Bitcoin, this elections have been a massive trigger to bull markets before. And nothing has changed right now. So no more wasting time. Happy Sunday to you all. Hope you've had a great weekend with the family. Hope you've been relaxing. I know a lot of you are probably hungover today. Nice. Drink some water. Get yourself back up. No more wasting time. Let's go.
I try and help everyone in my space, and this is what I get. I try and fight the devils, but inside I'm just like sniper. Welcome to Sheldon Show.
Yo, Banter family, Banter channel, hit the subscribe button, like it up. I'm bringing you weekend streams for you guys in between my crazy, busy family life at the moment. Just popping on, shooting a show for you guys, getting it out there. Again, the more that I can be there, I know you will be there, and I know we'll get through these little red patches. But ultimately, we are still here for the bull market. We still have a bull market to go. We still have an altcoin season to go. Doesn't matter how hard this year's been. It's been hard all the times before. And actually looking back at this, it made me so much more calm. Looking at all of these charts and seeing that it's all on track. These things have actually happened multiple times before. The difference, though, here is obviously the scale. Okay, and the fact again that we've spoken about how institutions have been buying into all-time highs, crazy, right? No retails here. That tweet of Miles still sticks in my brain. Where the retail are not here yet. People are not downloading the apps. They're not opening up exchange accounts. That's not happening at this point. But you do have a ton of buying happening from big institutions into all-time highs. Okay, and that for me is to understand that retail are not meant to be here yet. However, when is retail going to come? Is when total 3 starts to rally through. So I got a few things to speak about in the show now. I'm going to get into a bunch of data now shortly, okay? And I want to show you guys, then I am going to zoom in, get you guys some updated information of where the markets are at and what I think is going to happen from now until you see me again tomorrow, okay? But let's go through a couple of things. So again, we've got weekly close coming up. And an important thing with weekly close is you can see here on Bitcoin is basically this pin bar that we are forming, okay? Right now, it's not the best candle. Okay, but what I am seeing is I think we're going to have a little bit of a fast acceleration pullback shortly. And then I do think a couple of hours into weekly close, I think there's going to be a bounce within the market. Okay, so what I'm seeing on the short time frame, and I'll show you guys now shortly, I think the acceleration of the redness is going to increase a little bit more. Okay, but then I do think there's going to be a bit of buying power. And the main thing here is to just hold supports, right? So we got one support here to hold at 67,000. Okay, we might go lower though. But the big supports we just must hold through this redness over here, okay, is at least the $63,000 to $64,000. Okay, now that already gives you an idea of at least a 10% drop for where we are now. But as long as we hold this trend here, we hold these MAs here, we're still good. It does, however, mean that the market is just very scared right now. And we can see it very much on the charts. Going into elections, not sure what's going on. Everyone's very uncertain. Okay, so it does show me. Remember when I spoke yesterday about time capitulation? It means the same way when the market is going up. And what that basically means is when we are rallying up like this is currently the Bitcoin price, right? What you can see is you can see that we have this initial trend. Okay, and you can see there's a little bit of a gap to that trend. So what that does for me as well is it doesn't mean, right now we can easily pull back to that trend. And if we do that, that's at least the $64,000, $63,000 zone. Okay. And for me, we have not broken that. I'm not thinking anywhere below that. I'm only thinking about, okay, we can go there. What does that mean for my altcoin bags? What must I do right now? Should I be opening trades? Should I buy the dip? What the hell should be going on? Okay. But what's also important about this, and I spoke about it yesterday, is the time capitulation. And the time capitulation is basically showing you over here. Just want to show you that you have this amount of time over here. Okay. So it means the market might actually just be choppy. It might just do this for a little while, okay, to the trend line. And that is when we get going again and when we get really pushing. So it just shows you again, that doesn't mean that this choppiness right now is really going to exhaust the crap out of the markets. And I sent a message out to Club yesterday and I said, guys, I haven't felt defeated in a long time. The market is doing a great job at really just demotivating you. And what it also made me realize is I had to stop. I got to a point where I had to stop because I felt like I was going to just create more and more damage. I was so in my head and so over trading that I was getting stuck and I was getting completely lost. And what ended up happening was I ended up stopping. And when I ended up stopping, what happened was I felt sorry for myself and I felt not great about myself and I was very annoyed. So I ended up laying in bed the whole weekend. Okay, but I laid in bed with my daughter and my wife. And what happened was I ended up spending great time with them. Okay, and it was amazing. And I ended up a couple of days later looking back on this and thinking, Sheldon, what happened? Like, how did you get to this point of thing? I realized my fuel tank was empty. I realized that I was seeing things very differently because my tank was just empty. I was not fueled up. Do you know how amazing it felt to spend some family time again? It was amazing because I've been so busy for so long, and to do that stuff. And I actually felt this rage of energy back in me. And I started seeing charts a little bit more clearer. And it just shows you again that as much as you're a good trader or a good investor, if your fuel tank is empty outside of the crypto tank, you can start to play with your mind and you can start to get trapped and overtrade and get stuck. And that's the big things you got to fight. So just understand as well, if you're getting mentally hurt right now or you just stuck, just stop. What I mean by stop is stop trading. Just boom, just sit back. Okay. Because you know how hard it was for me to stop, guys, to stop trading. Okay. That day. And I felt sorry for myself, sat in bed. 1 week later, I look and the altcoins are at the same place. So in my head, I was driving myself so nuts that this thing was going to pop at any single moment. Okay, don't stop. That I ran my fuel tank empty. And then I finally had to stop because of the sake of just like I was finished. I was done. Okay, and coming back a week later, the market's still in the same place. And I'm like, what the hell was I stressing for? Why was I driving myself nuts, when these things happen? So if you're in that place right now, just stop. The market will be here next week. Still watch your stores, still be involved, still do that, but stop trading, stop throwing money in, stop making massive decisions until your fuel tank is back up. You see things a bit more clearer, and then you come in hot. You are in here for the long run, guys. We are in here for a whole bull market. You can't get onto the Super Bowl and then pull a hammy halfway into the start. We can't do that, right? We can't do that. We're here for a whole entire rally as well. So just stop, keep learning, get your energy back up. Okay, and be ready for the major rallies. So again, what this is showing over here is this market might chop you for the next 2 weeks. So are you going to go drain your fuel tanks over here, or you're just going to stay in the game, okay, and pay attention and just play part of the game until we have the real breakthrough and where we get going, okay? And you know what will happen? You'll probably take the break now, and when the market rallies, it's probably going to be the perfect time. It's probably going to line up perfectly. You're going to feel great. You're going to have maybe some sort of money somewhere. Something's going to work beautifully for you, and things are going to align on your journey. Okay, so just know here, we are definitely in choppy season, but the main thing we want to see on Bitcoin in the next week, next 2 weeks, just hold $64,000, and we're still very strong for this year at the day. Again, your dominances are flying, but let me go into a couple of data for you guys, and then I'll jump into the short-term analysis. So the first thing I want to show you guys over here, which is very interesting, is Bitcoin. So I want to go to Bitcoin over here, and I just want to show you guys Bitcoin over here. Boom. Okay, so this is very interesting. Bitcoin is in the exact same place where it was before the last elections. Exact same place. Okay, and I want to show you guys this over here, because you know what's nice about this? I just told you to refill your tanks. Now I'm about to make sure that you know that this is coming. Get excited. Do not lose. Put your everything in for the next few months, because just because your fuel tanks are empty now, fill them up. Learn these things now because you've got a whole race to go. But do not lose track that this is a damn bull market, and this market's going to rally strong at any moment. Do not lose track. So let me show you how we are in the exact same place at the exact same time. It was also the first week of November in 2020 was elections, right? We're also worried, was it going to be Trump again? Was it going to be Biden? What is going to happen? Who's pro-crypto? Who's not? You know, all of these things go through our head of who's going to win or not. But nonetheless, Biden won at that point, okay? And we still went into the biggest bull rally. But let me show you where we were. This was the price of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin was sitting in the first week or through the whole of November, it was sitting at all-time highs. Isn't that ironic, right? It also went sideways at these major zones, but exactly at the zone of here is where it sat through. The moment that the election started to settle, everything just boom, Bitcoin went all the way from $20,000 to $60,000 after that. But look how the timing is exactly the same, okay, to this area over here. Plus, if you go back to these areas of 2016, go look at where the bull market starts. Go do it yourself. I'm not even going to draw the line. Go look at the last elections. Go look at the last elections. Go draw it up on here. Go zoom in and go look what happened after the last elections. Boom, bull market. Okay, so again, we're at the exact same place, exact same time. Where are we right now? We are sitting at all-time highs, going sideways into all-time highs into the election week. Okay, same place, same thing. The big things you wanted to see as well, we saw a golden cross before that. We saw a golden cross recently over here as well. We broke the 200-day moving average. We have broken the 200-day and the 50-day moving average, and we are holding them right now. Okay, so when it comes to the Bitcoin, this is saying that we are still very much on target, on price, and when the real pump happens is in December. Okay, we've always known that December has been a very bullish bullish month for crypto in general, and Januaries have always been the best altcoin months. Very interesting. So now let's go look at the next thing. Let's go look at Bitcoin dominance, and I want to show you guys this over here. Very interesting. I broke the crap out of Bitcoin dominance because I thought it was driving me nuts. I was like, this is not normal. Why is Bitcoin dominance going up for so long? Why does it feel like altcoins are just getting absolutely destroyed and it's over for altcoins, right? And then I actually went and I actually did some analysis, and I did fully through over here. And what I basically marked is this chart over here. So I'm going to show you the first one, which was the elections of 2016. Okay, 2016 election was also in the first week of November. Okay, and what you saw over here is literally around 60 days to 80 days after that was the biggest altcoin season we've seen. Right, the 2017 one was still one of the biggest ever compared to where their prices were. I think ETH was like $8, you know, like crazy numbers, and it went to $1,000, and there was a lot of tokens that did crazy things in that time. But if you look at this over here, that literally after that, before that, we were rallying up, strong Bitcoin. After that, we had this massive drop off. Then what we had was we had around 1,000 days when we got to the bottom of dominance going up. Okay, 1,000 days of dominance going up. And what happened in that time is what you could see is we basically had this rally up over here. We lost a trend, and then we retested the trend as the major high, and then we started the next major alt season. When did the next major alt season start? Exactly 2 months after the elections. Same as this time, right? 2 months after the elections, 2 months after the elections. Bitcoin was at the same place, okay, as what we were before. So everything aligned perfect over there, right? Same place, same time, everything basically happened, and we started this major alt rally. Then the big important thing as well is when we lost the trend, we came in, we pushed through, and from that, massive push. Then we got to the low of this cycle, which was around this area of around 38%, okay, of the dominance. From there, we have been going up for at least 1,000 days now from the low. Same time period over here. Now we have the dominance going same way that it's done both times, rallying up into the elections. What we actually don't know, or what I found very interesting, is we did actually lose trend this year. This was the trend that we followed throughout the whole of 2000. Well, trend, I think this trend's going for like the last 2-3 years, right? But we started off for at least a year in this trend, and we actually lost it, and we've been on the other side of the line. Okay, in that time, very similar to what we lost over here. A little bit more aggressive here. Okay, but look at this. Then from here, we rallied up into the elections. okay, into this box over here, and it's lining up that the tops here should be around 60 to 63% should be the top of the Bitcoin dominance. Now, again, your Bitcoin hypes into the elections, and then once the elections fade, then your massive alt seasons go. But what's also very interesting about these times was the RSIs as well. The RSIs were in the exact same places of where they are right now. Plus, let me show you this over here, guys. Very interesting. I'm seeing the exact same monthly Bitcoin dominance RSI as the previous one. Look at this over here, how it made this Batman M. Okay, so we had the first rally up. It came here, small rally down, rally up again. And look how long we sat up here. And I just want to show you guys over here. Look how long the RSI sat up. If you don't want to tell me that Bitcoin works in 4-year cycles without market, like, you can't tell me anything when it comes to data. If you look at data, it's insane. This period over here, we sat for at least the areas of around 548 days in those that oversold territory. Okay, when it comes to that, you look at where we are now in these zones over here, 550 days. Insane. Wait, let's actually go a little bit longer. 580 days. Okay, look how we're sitting at the same oversold points again. But the next thing that's very important over here is, I'll bring this up over here. Look how we had we had the little area here, we dropped. Look how we made it, and I call it a Batman, right? Batman with ears, like, or cat, or whatever the hell you want to call it, okay? Here we go. You got your two little ears. You got the little big push, the flat, and then the other ear over here as well. That's what you got. Over here, same thing. Ear, sideways, ear over here at the right. This is the big area here where we start. Guys, this thing has never lied that when this gets to the top, eventually it comes down. So the fact that this is at the top here, it's crazy to think that the alt season is not going to happen in the next couple of months. It's crazy. It will happen. There will be a rally where this will start retracing all the way down. And it's crazy how it's lining up exactly again to just after the major elections. The next thing that's very interesting as well, okay, is if you look at these drops from the dominance, and I want to draw it in a line form. There is their first big drop after the 2016 elections. We went into a massive 2017 bull run. Okay, then we went through a bear cycle, which takes long to that area over here. Then what happens was another drop. Okay, and now we are here. But let me show you what's interesting over here with dominance. Is if you look at your Fibonacci's, and I showed you guys yesterday Fibs, right? I showed you the power of Fibs as well. If you take it from here to here, 618 has always been your number one golden zone. Okay, and look how over here, if I take my Fibonacci from the top to the bottom, look how the 618 marked the exact top of the Bitcoin dominance in that cycle. Okay, then what you do as well is we say, okay, now let me go take this current cycle to where we are now, and let me go highlight where the 618 is. Okay, same thing. I take my 618 from my Fib from the top to the bottom. Look where we are right now. It's actually a little bit higher. It's at 62%. Which means there's still a little bit more dominance up to go. And then we are hitting the same Fib tool that we've hit before with the same RSI in the same place on the other side of the line. Plus, I don't know if you notice, but you see this trend at the top, how we are still in that trend. Okay? We are over here. You see this trend line? There's the top over there too. Guys, for me, it's a no-brainer that alt season is still coming. Okay? And now let me show you and take you now through to the total 3. And what this basically looks like over here as well. So the total 3 is very simple. And I want to show you guys this over here. You got massive bull market 2017 or 2020. Okay. Then you had the drop off and it went sideways for a while. Okay. And then it started making its way up. Okay. And when it really got going is when it passed an important level. So I want to show you this again. This is why I love Fibonacci tools, right? If you take it from the bottom to the top over here, you will see an important level. Other way around. Top to bottom. Okay. And what you'll see is your fibs. And I showed you guys, you can use all the fibs in the world, right? It will bounce in one of them. But the strength is what shows you. So what you have over here is you have this important one called a 382. And as long as it stays below a 382, it's not good, right? And we've seen that with alts. Look how over here we lost the 382. Look how long altcoin stayed below this from 2018 all the way to 2020. For 2 years, we stayed below that important area over there. Okay. And that is exactly that zone over there, which is over here. The moment it broke it, altcoins did 600% on the total 3. What does that look like money wise? There was around nearly $1 trillion went into altcoins when that happened. Okay. Now, again, altcoins only got triggered and only went running in Jan. Okay, now they still pumped 40 to 50% into that resistance. That's where I think we are now. There's still some upside by buying altcoins over here, but when they went parabolic was in January. But the first sign we looked for was breaking through the 382, and that was in January. Now what you do is you say, okay, now let me go take from the top to the bottom over here and look where we're at. Look where we are right now, guys. Below the 382, exact same time. There's the 1st of November. Here's the 1st of November. Exact same firm, exact same area, exact same RSI, exact same everything. Okay, which is insane. And what it basically indicates from here is, again, what I told you guys is I think that at any moment now the alts will start rallying up slowly to this area over here. Very similar to what we saw here, which still shows you that there is big gains. There's at least, and I just want to show you percentage on the total 3, at least 30 to 40% gains. What does that mean? Solana to $200. Everything higher than we are now. Then when they really get parabolic is when they break through that major high, is where they get going, which for me is indicating, if I look at these areas over here, is January. So let's go through here. Oh, this is going to go way quicker. I thought there was a weekly chart over here. Let me show you again what this looks like. Okay, so from here, slow grind up, so still gains. And from here, January is where we really get parabolic. Guys, nothing is changing when it comes to the formulas and looking at everything when it comes to data. Okay, we have the dominance going up, everything going up, but on the same firms, same levels, same RSI, same time, everything over here. The US elections has actually been our last 2 bull market triggers. Okay, it doesn't matter. Remember, every election, who's going to win, who's going to do this, it doesn't matter. When it comes to data, the election triggered the 2017 run, the 2020 and 21 run, and about to go into 24, 25. It's been our trigger this whole time. And then what happens is the very simple thing of this. And I just want to show you guys this over here. This is what happens next. Bitcoin first, and then the altcoins. And I showed you guys as well that if we go back to this chart over here, I want to show you guys on the total 3 again. Okay, guys, I'm bringing you a high time frame show here for you to say you are crazy if you're losing interest in crypto right now. Keep going. Don't quit. You've come so far. You can't quit now. We just got you. Come on, like, this is where we focus. But the next thing is, remember how we showed you that this golden cross is only coming in the next week or 2, where it already happened to Bitcoin, okay, 2 weeks back. And it shows you that the alts are delayed by a month to 6 weeks from Bitcoin right now. Okay, so I still think, yes, a big volatile week is incoming. Okay, I definitely do. But I'm still very much sure that Bitcoin breaks all-time highs and altcoins kick in late December to January. I think Bitcoin has an incredible, I think we're about to have a phenomenal Christmas. I really do. I think December is going to be a rally from Bitcoin. I think November is going to be a bit, sorry for my language, a bit of a shit show. I think it's going to be volatile, guys. And if you're going to allow this market to drain you in November, you're not going to be here for the main event. I honestly believe the main event is coming beginning of December. Okay, which means we have a lot to learn in that time. There's a lot of short-term trades that we'll be taking when the market's ready. It's not ready just yet. Okay, but end of the day, the big event comes in December. That's when Bitcoin goes. Okay, and where altcoins go is in that time. They still go. That's why it's important to make sure we are focused on buys. But altcoins really get going in around January. That has happened the last 2 cycles in a row. Okay, and I'm sure if you go back in history, you'll see it even more as well. So that's super exciting. Now let's speak about a couple of other things. Okay, there's only a certain amount of altcoins that are going to pump right now, and there's only a certain amount of altcoins that are going to pump heavily in January. Okay, and it comes down to a couple of tools. Again, it comes down to your 20 weekly moving average or your 200 daily is what you call it, right? They're very similar to each other as well. Altcoins that have broken these moving averages are the ones to buy right now. There's a bit of urgency on these tokens because they are actually performing in a dominance. I don't even know what these altcoins are going to do in the bull market, right? But the fact that they're performing like this with dominance going in a straight line for many months is insane. So there's a couple of tokens. There's one token that I'd really focus on these pullbacks is 𝗬𝗎. Okay, and I've spoken about it. I'll go into some shorter time analysis over here, but it is one token that is breaking through. But I want to show you the concern about buying a bunch of tokens right now, okay, and not understanding that they can still get destroyed by Bitcoin for a couple of weeks. Okay, that's so important to know this. Now, it doesn't mean you're not buying these coins. It means you are just taking way more time to buy them, and you have a little bit more urgency on the ones that are worth buying right now. Okay, but if you look at a lot of these coins, and I'm going to use an example of 𝗕𝗥𝗢𝗕𝗥. Look how bad this thing is doing to the Bitcoin pair. So when it comes to Bitcoin, it's about to lose a very important low or bounce. But right now, look how far it is from the trend. This thing is saying you have at least 60 days to accumulate AVAX. You have time to AVAX of it. Right now, it's only but losing the battle. Okay, so this is a token that you can load up on, but realistically, it's only going to pump then. But then you come to a token like Solana, and look how Sol is in a bull flag, breaking 200-day. This is a token I'll definitely be buying on this dump. Definitely be buying on these pullbacks over here. Okay, and if you go look at the actual chart itself, it's looking really good. Also in a massive bull flag. There's the 200 daily over there. Sol is a big one. So Sol is definitely one of the tokens that I would be buying very much on these dips and making sure that my Sol bags are intact. But if you're going to buy things like this for now, Cardano, I'm sorry, but like it's losing the lows right now. It's better to buy Bitcoin because you're going to be losing a lot of these. Okay, but to buy it over some time where you buy $10 today, $20 tomorrow, and you buy for over 60 days, you're going to average out a really good area. Then I think it's worth it. But if you're going to go put all your money to something right now, just know you're fighting a losing battle right now. Okay, so these tokens, anything that's below the 200-day MAs right now and below these trends, this thing is showing you very clearly over here that for Cardano, you have at least 160 days to accumulate it until a big breakout happens. For now, okay, it can break in 100 days. But nonetheless, you have 3 months to accumulate this thing. What the hell are you rushing for? Why are you panicking? Okay, realistically, this thing's going to make you money over time. Okay, and it's only going to make you money when it starts breaking these areas over here. But let's go through a couple of other tokens. Ones that I would be really buying right now is Phantom. I'll be buying Phantom on this pullback for my investment portfolio. I'll be buying Solana on the pullback on my investment portfolio. Okay, things like NEAR, not good right now. Things like ETH, not good. Oh, I actually have a very interesting ETH BTC chart to show you as well. Let's find it over here. Let's find it. Very interesting charts that just backs what I've been saying about the alts. Because I know ETH is been getting destroyed. Okay, I want to mark to you guys the last 2 elections with the green dots. You can see it over here. ETH to Bitcoin. There was the last one over here. And there was the last one over here. They were literally marking the bottom areas of ETH. Plus, if you look at the amount of red that was coming into this, look how much red we've had coming into this over here. Look at this over here. Our ETH, the same time, same place on the major trend line over here. For me, this is a token that I would really focus on accumulating. But again, it's not above 200 days, so it's no rush. Okay, but this is showing that the ETH bottom is incoming. Very interesting. Let's see. Matt, we must remember this show. If we're the ones that called this, baby, like we must remember. Remember, we're a bunch of people all trying to figure out the same thing. But this is very important when it comes to data and understanding these things over here. So let's go through a couple of these coins that I think are really, really, really good. So the ones that are above 200-day moving averages right now, let's just jump over here. Okay, are these tokens here. Let's show you. Okay, Solana, Sui, urgent buy tokens. Phantom. Phantom's one of the best right now in coming in a good zone. Dogecoin, Superfarm, and Thorchain. Out of all of my alts, these are the only ones for me right now when it comes to major alts that are actually really, really worth buying on these dips right now because they have a bit of urgency. They're stronger than the rest of the market. They rip when the market goes up again, and they're actually building a lot of momentum behind the doors versus all the other ones that, to be honest, are still going to pump, but it's not their time yet. Okay, and it's showing us that January is that major time over there as well. So again, Sui, Solana, Phantom, Doge, Super, and Rune. And what do I mean by buys here? By buying some bags now and just being damn patient for your long term. That's it, okay, on these major pullbacks. Let's jump into some short-term analysis and show you guys what I'm seeing right now. I'm seeing the altcoins come down, guys. I'm seeing them come down, and I'll speak to you guys about it in a sec. And I'm seeing Bitcoin come down too. I think Bitcoin's going to come down to around 66, and there is even 65,000 that I'm seeing. Just brace yourself. If you've got any trades right now, take a damn break. Just chill. Take something. Doesn't matter what your losses are. You want to have money when the Super Bowl starts again, right? Okay, so for now, a little bit of turbulence, but it does look like the market's going to come down. Bitcoin's about to lose this trend. I said we either have to slow down here yesterday, but I said I am very much looking for a 66 to 67,000. That's my first target. How are you saying that, Sheldon? It's a 618. 7867 sitting at 65,000. Those are my 2 zones. Again, what you are dealing with right now is time capitulation. So you are separating yourself from this trend line. That trend line is the one that's going to indicate when the dump is over. Right now, as it stands and as we go lower, this is only but just getting a little bit bigger. Now, in 3 days again, 3 to 4 days is the breakouts for now. Okay, which means that right now, probably brace yourself for something like this. Push, bounce, push, something like that. And here, they're probably going to shake us out one more time and go. But that's more or less what you're at right now. So don't over-tired yourself, okay, because you look at total 3 as well. I just want to show you guys in the total 3 chart. Total 3 is also last trend. So alts will be coming down. There we go. We are losing trend. Where are the alts going to come to? I want to zoom out here and show you guys the damage. I don't think it's a mega dump, guys. I really don't. I don't think it's a massive dump. But I do think we're coming to these big fibs. And I just want to show you guys over here, which is the 618. That's how far I see us coming down. So if you want a percentage, you want a bit of a thing of around 4 to 6%. So realistically, what does that mean? It means your Solanas will probably come down to around 150, late 140s. Good zone to buy some Solana to sit. When you're going to be trading again is when these trends break. Right now, it's not worth trading anything. It's showing you when these trends break, we bounce on a good zone, break a trend, then you trade again. So your trading time only comes in the next 3 days. Your Phantoms, I think Phantom's about to tank quickly for today. It's going to be one of the bigger drops, I think. And I think it's going to be the one that's going to come here to, I want to buy this between 50 and 55 cents. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing a drop and then I'm seeing a bounce, but only a breakout in, I don't know, the next 7 days from Phantom. Okay, so Phantom is another one over there. Dogecoin. Doge is coming down. I see Doge coming to around 14 to 14.3 cents. That's a good 7% cheaper than where it is now. And then after that, like this, a little bit of sideways, and then massive pop off. Okay, so and then Super Farm. Let's look at Super Farm. I think Super's also going to drop hard to around $1, which I think is a good buy, guys. I think it's a good buy. So Super Farm will also come to those major areas over there. Thorchain, it's going to come down to the $5 range again. $5 to 5.2. Great zones to buy some Thorchain. This thing broke massive structures over here above 200-day MAs. Amazing. So Thorchain is another token that I would also be. Thorchain, Super, Doge, Phantom, Solana, Sui. Those are the ones right now. The Says and that, they're still good. I'm just waiting for trend line breaks. That's all that I'm waiting for. Right now, they're dropping in. We'll catch them on these trends over here. But for now, if you do want to buy these tokens, again, you're looking around 31 to 32 cents, which is like another 10% cheaper than where it is now. And it's nearly half price from where it was a couple of days ago or a couple of weeks ago. So very good amounts over here. Your R-Weaves are getting cheap as hell. Your 𝗕𝗥𝗢𝗕𝗥𝗓 are getting cheap. Your CASs are getting cheap. But you have a bit of time with these. These things are very below when it comes to the actual Bitcoin pairing as well. Guys, I want to remind you as well, a couple of things. If you are trading in the next week, use Bitfunded. Way cheaper than using all your money at the moment. Put $79. You got time to get through 2 stages. The one is 8% and 2%. You get through that, you unlock and you trade $5,000. So with your $80, you can trade at $5,000. Okay, here, take your time. I think it takes 5 days to complete each step. So take your time. No rushing with trades over here. Make very obvious trades, okay? And you keep 90% of the profits. If you've got $99, it's a 10,000 package. For me, this one is very good over here. This one over here, link below in the description. Plus, guys, join Sniper School. I got a big event coming. It's going to be the best one yet. I'm even building a new one. But there's a lot of cool things over here. So here is Sniper School. Come join it. It is free for you guys. Click on this link over here if you've not done it. Join Sniper School over here. And let's get going. Okay. So remember, we also got a little bit of liquidations that are sitting around the $68,000, $67,000 zone. So we're going to be looking at getting that. Let's go to the 24 hours and see where that's at the moment as well. Okay, cool. There we go. So we've got a little bit sitting around 67. Then you could see how immediately after that, the market will bounce hard at some point. But again, I don't think it's the real bounce just yet. What I think is going to happen with Bitcoin is I think it's going to drop now. Then it's going to bounce up and then go sideways a bit and then break out. Okay, so I don't want to get trapped too much. Again, that trend line will be the major ones to protect me and make sure that I am ready for that. Okay, guys, love you lots. Happy Sunday to you all. Keep your motivation high. Fill your fuel tanks. Get ready. But we are on track for the biggest bull market of our lives. The altcoins will kick in the next 2 months at any moment now. I've given you the top 6 coins that I think are worth buying right now. And when the bounce happens, I think you're going to make a lot of money. The rest of them, you got some time. But keep in the game. Keep focused. Much love to you all, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.